You know, it's Amy O, and I'm here to talk about getting adult braces. So just to let you know a little bit about myself, I'm a 34-year-old woman living in Perth, Western Australia. So just to give some history as to why I'm getting braces now. I guess as a kid, you know, with dental visits and stuff like that, I was never really scared of it, but for the most part, I didn't have good outcomes after I went to the dentist. I felt like I was always being told to do better with my sort of cleaning and flossing and stuff like that. I also had some fillings when I was quite young, and they're sort of like the black fillings now. So as an adult, sort of aesthetically, it's not really nice. I guess when I laugh really big and sort of throw my head back, you can see I've got a big bulky one at the top on this side, and on this side, on the sides of my teeth, I've got a few smaller ones, and they just, you know, just look like black nasty dots on my teeth. So I did actually visit the orthodontist when I was a teenager. I think I might have been about 13 when I went. My best friend Stephanie at the time had braces. So it was one of those things that, you know, a friend had it. It's a way to straighten your teeth. It's something that I really wanted. So I was, you know, motivated to do this. So my mum took me to an orthodontist appointment, and they sort of, you know, laid out the plan as to what was going to happen. To be honest, I couldn't remember what the plan was at the time. I just remember sort of being shown the braces and me wanting to go ahead with it. But at the time, it just wasn't a financially viable option for us to do, so we didn't. And then I just kind of, I think at the time, sort of had it in my head that, okay, well, this is how I'll live my life with my teeth like this. I never really thought that I would revisit wanting to straighten them. I just kind of decided that that was that, and that's what my teeth would look like, and I'll just move on with the rest of my life, I guess. So I basically just spent my 20s enjoying traveling. That was what I worked hard for and spent my money on. I went to Europe, I went to New Zealand, I went to Fiji, I went to America, I went to India, Singapore. So financially, that was what my money went to. And then, of course, we've kind of had coronavirus, which has stopped travel around the world. So I had just been working hard at paying off my car loan and ended up paying that off a couple of months ago, and was like, well, what am I going to do next financially? And I kind of imagined myself on my wedding day with beautiful straight white teeth, and it's probably not going to happen for a few years. So I thought, why not? Like, nothing's holding me back anymore. So I really sort of looked into it further. Probably like this year is when I started thinking seriously about it and talking about it, and sort of making my plans from there. I think there's no better time than right now for me to do it. I think doing it as an adult as well, I'm going to take it a lot more seriously. Sort of all the, you know, the daily routines, the cleaning, the maintenance, making sure I go to my appointments and everything. The fact that I'm paying for them myself as well is going to hold me really accountable. So I think this is a really good step forward for me to do this now. So the next step for me was to go to my dentist and have a chat to him about it. I've seen him ever since I was 18 or 19. He's the best dentist ever. I'll never see any other dentist. I think it's, when you find a good dentist, it's such a personal thing. So I went in for my most recent sort of checkup and clean, and I mentioned to him that I was interested in teeth straightening options and, you know, what sort of recommendations would he make, and he was really happy to write a referral for me to go see an orthodontist that he recommends and has referred to a lot and has been around for a very long time, so I was happy to take his recommendations. He did sort of say to me as well that it was a really positive step moving forward for me to do this, because once the teeth are straighter, it'll be easier for him to be able to clean them, and it'll be easier for me to be able to clean them because I've got some crowding at the front. So he was really happy to do that. And so I contacted the orthodontists that he'd referred me to and booked in my appointment, and there was a 2-month wait for a consultation, which seems like a very long time, but at the same time I think if a place has got a very long wait, then they must be good. So the consultation with the orthodontist and the plan moving forward, basically I went in with really good expectations. I think I had sort of a brief idea as to how much it was going to cost, and I had a figure in my head that if it was above that, then potentially I'd have to reconsider what I'm doing. But I also think that the figure that I had in my head was quite realistic. So when I first went there, they took a bunch of images. The referral that I'd had from my dentist included a recent x-ray, and then at the orthodontist they wanted to take another x-ray, a different x-ray, so they had things to compare, and they took some photos of my teeth. I basically sort of like held them open with separators, I'm not sure what they were, put them in my mouth and hold my mouth open and take photos of my teeth on different angles, and photos of my face of different angles and stuff as well. And then I went in and saw the orthodontist, and the consultation was pretty straightforward, and I to be honest, I didn't have a lot of questions. I was just happy to take the recommendations that they wanted. So he said essentially what would be best would be for me to have 4 teeth removed. They would be the premolars, and then he recommended braces. He said that they could do ceramic braces on my top teeth, and they could do metal braces on my bottom teeth, or they could do metal on both. Ceramic costs a bit more, but it's more, I guess, cosmetic. And he did mention Invisalign sort of as these are all the options for teeth straightening. I said, would I be a candidate for Invisalign? Not thinking that I would be, because I know it's just for minor changes. And he said that I wouldn't be a candidate for it. He said he could do it, but he wouldn't recommend it. And of course, I'm not going to go against their recommendation. So I said, yep, I'd be happy to go ahead with the braces. And that was pretty much it. It was pretty straightforward. I was given the prices, and I left without making any appointments just yet, because they wanted to email through the quote to me, and they wanted to get in touch with my dentist. There was just one tooth that he wanted them to have a look at. I'm assuming potentially it needs a filling soon, so we just waited to hear back from my dentist about that, and they said that it's a tooth that they'd been keeping an eye on for a while anyway, so it wasn't ready at that point to have a filling done. So they said, yep, let's go ahead and proceed. So then the next step from there was that I made an appointment to have the molds taken of my teeth, where they essentially get a little tray, put some putty in it, put it in your teeth and pull it, wait for it to harden, then pull it out, and tastes like nothing. Funny story about having the molds taken of my teeth is that I don't really know a lot of people that I can talk to about having braces on. My sister has had braces, and my friend Stephanie from high school had them. And I remember my friend Stephanie telling me that, I think it was when she had the molds taken or when she had the braces put on, I can't remember. But she told me that something tasted like ants. And so I then asked my sister, you know, when you had your molds taken, did it taste gross? Did it taste like ants? And she was like, no, it actually tasted like custard. Like they put a flavor in there. And so I was like, okay, going into this appointment to have the molds taken, and I was thinking it's either going to taste like ants or custard. And hopefully it tastes like custard, but it actually tastes like nothing. They had no flavor. So I don't know what the ant taste is about. Hopefully it's not when the braces get put on, but you know, it is what it is, whatever. As soon as I had the molds taken, I went straight over to the dentist office and made appointments to have my 4 teeth extracted. Because I'm an adult, they don't recommend taking all 4 out at the same time. I think just because your whole mouth will be numb and quite painful and it'll take longer to heal. Excuse me. It would take longer to heal. So they recommended having 2 teeth out on one side because I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4 premolars. Essentially once the mold was taken, that was going to be sent off to a lab or something, and then they're going to measure up and let my dentist know which teeth need to come out specifically. So I was happy to book the appointments for the extractions straight away, and then eventually we'll find out which ones were going to come out. Yeah, they wanted to take 2 out on one side 1 week, and then 2 out on the other side the following week. So I've booked both of those appointments, and then 3 weeks after all of the teeth are out is when I get the braces put on. So essentially I'm sort of wanting to film this experience from start to finish. The treatment time I was given was 1.5 years to 2 years, or longer if needed. And I think it'd be really cool to sort of do an update after each appointment or something like that, to see how much things have changed, how much have moved. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool to look back on, and if people watching this are, you know, interested, if it sort of helps other people, that'd be really cool too. So I don't know a lot of people who have had braces before. Obviously I mentioned a friend from high school who I'm not in contact with anymore. My sister is really great to talk to. I've got a work colleague as well who is about to have her braces off in the next few months, so she's been really cool to talk to as well. Sort of places that I've been looking for advice or to help me make choices has definitely been the internet. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos of people documenting their experiences. I've read a bunch on the internet as well about, you know, how to take care of your braces, foods to eat, the difference between ceramic and metal braces. At the moment I think I'm probably just going to get metal all round. Ceramics cost more. Apparently they have a higher chance of breaking, and they stain quite easily. And I drink black tea every day. So I might actually try and find some photos of my teeth, but potentially close up, so you can have a look. I don't know, looking at them from the front, a lot of comments that I've had when I've told people that I'm getting braces is, oh, but your teeth are really straight. Yes and no. You know, they're crowded at the front, they're straight at the back. But you know, it's me who lives with them, it's me who has to clean them every day and try to get between them with the floss, and it's so tight and difficult. It's me who sees myself in photos in different angles where they look, you know, relatively straight, or angles where they're not straight at all. So it is something that I guess I'm a bit self-conscious about, and you know, making myself vulnerable by filming this experience, but you know, it is what it is. I might get up close so you can sort of see my teeth. So There's one back there. So this one juts out of it. That one kind of is twisted forward. There. This one's kind of twisted to the side. And then this one juts forward. That one pops out. So they're just crowded at the front, really. The backs are relatively straight. So I think the ones that they're going to pull out is the ones behind my canines. So this one, that one, that one, and that one. That's my teeth.